And as you can see on your screen, that re-entry burn for those two side boosters has begun.
Side boosters entry burn shut down.
Side core entry burn target.
The center core in the upper left of your screen performing its own re-entry burn. You can see the edge of Cape Canaveral in both of the side booster cameras as those are coming in.
PY and NY side boosters have saved.
Center core entry burn shutdown.
And even though those look very similar, those two boosters views, those are actually representing different boosters. And they're heading towards Earth. They're about to begin their landing burns. We'll hopefully be able to bring you nice footage of that.
Both side boosters transonic.
And watch for the landing lights deploy at the tail end of that landing burn.
And that landing burn has started.
Both boosters looking to be on track towards their respective landing zones.
Landing burns have started. Side boosters landing legs have deployed.
And the Falcons have landed.
LZ1, LZ2, both side boosters have touchdown. Landing out to move on to 11 by 1, recovery 1 and recovery 2.
Stage 2, and coming up very shortly, the center core will be attempting its landing on the autonomous spaceport drone ship.
You may also be hearing the second engine cut off. Oh, check on your screen. Sometimes this footage goes out when it approaches the drone ship and the heavy vibrations make it lose signal. We're crossing our fingers that's not the case right now.
Stage 2, nominal parking orbit insertion.
So it looks like that landing is happening at the moment. We have lost signal.
Church is a funny business. The people of God are a funny business. Why? You know, we are the people most assured of our future, but also one that holds on to our past, our legacy most dearly. I don't know how many times you will hear the word future in this conference, but we just somehow like it, that we have a legacy that we hold on to. That's how we've always been doing it. So if it ain't broken, don't touch it. And so we, year in and year out, week in and week out, we live our Christian lives like that. We go to church without even thinking and asking questions. And after a while, we don't even know why we bother going to church. We don't even know why we need to wake up on Sunday morning or Saturday night or Sunday evening for some of us. Our world is changing so rapidly. One of the things that scare me, I'm not a techie guy, and I'm trying to organize a futurist conference. But when I was growing up, we used to have 386 computer processor. Is that 386? Was it 386 or 486? 286. 286 was not my time. Praise Jesus, amen. I'm way younger than that. There was 286, 386, and then 486, and then Pentium. You all remember that? Yes. Wow, not a lot of young people here tonight. And then Pentium 1, Pentium 2, Pentium 3. Why we remember those names? Because the shelf lives of those processors were way longer in the past than it is today. I am very sure not many of us know what is the processor in the phone chip that you're using right now or in a computer that you're having. Our world is changing so rapidly, from baby boomers to Gen X, and from Gen Y to the millennials, and now we are staring at the dawn of Gen Z. And if we do not understand the signs and the times of our times and change with it, even if we carry the most powerful message that can change and transform lives, the message will never get across. It will just not reach the people. I want to say this. When we first designed this conference, and when we first talked about chatbots and leading people to Jesus while you were sleeping, I was apprehensive. I wasn't very sure if that will work. And I thought, maybe if we do that, we are losing the personal touch. And as if I needed any more confirmation from God, somebody came to me and said, Pastor, I would like my friend who would like to meet a counselor in church, but he doesn't want to meet anybody. Do you have a counselor online? Can you imagine we have a chatbot that make people feel so comfortable talking to somebody on the other side, which is AI, and get them answers and encourage them before they finally feel comfortable to speak to somebody at church? Our world is changing. Don't fight the future. Fight for the future. Are you guys with me? And no wonder if we are not moving. I want to say this, okay? With all due respect to some of the phone users, I was once a BlackBerry user. Those who've been set free, give Jesus a big hand. I know some are not set free yet. They are still using BlackBerry. BlackBerry users are very proud of our phone because we have physical keyboard. You love the physical keyboard because you have all kind of excuse and reasons for using them. You can type with one hand while you're driving, which is against the law, by the way. But you celebrate the fact that you have a physical keyboard. I was still using a physical keyboard on my phone when that happened, and it came upon me one day that I cannot fight the future anymore. It is going touchscreen, and we struggle. We cannot let go of the feeling. There's no touch, and I don't even know what I'm typing. But I'm so glad I'm a futurist, and I don't have physical keyboards anymore. Come on, let's give Jesus a big hand. And so, if we do not change the way we think, we're always trying to stay relevant, always trying to play catch up. As a church, as a people of God who owns the future, we got to be the people who stay ahead of the game, to be ahead of the curve, to define the game, instead of always trying to figure out why this generation is not interested in church or being less spiritual. I do not know how many times I've heard that this generation is the most difficult to reach out to. I want you to know, my parents' generation said the same to us, that you guys are the most difficult generation and less spiritual. A wrong perception always leads to a wrong solution. Let me say one more time. A wrong perception always leads to a wrong solution. The generation that we are in today, more than any other generation, you guys are more spiritual. Come on, prove it to me. You are more spiritual than any other generation added up together, but you have an issue. You are also smarter than any other generation. You have known more stuff at a way younger age than us. I first held a computer that is my own when I was 22. My son can activate my iPhone when he was 9 months. And he knows exactly where his YouTube Kids. And he can swipe up all the conversation that doesn't interest him. And then, why are all these people fighting my dad? Didn't they know I'm watching CKN toy reviews? If you're not a parent, you won't have a clue what I'm doing. But this generation is also the smartest generation of every other generation. And so they don't like to play religion. They don't like to play church. They smell fake from miles away. The generation that we are reaching out to today values sincerity and honesty more than anything else. Why? Because they've been raised by parents who are educated. They've been raised by parents who have developed a certain value in family life. to value meaningful conversation. And so they grow up understanding what manners is all about, what values is all about, what culture is all about. And if they come to a church or they come to a community that do not have any of this, they find it very difficult. Because the previous generation, probably they were raised from a generation where there were no fathers because a lot of them were killed in World War II. But it is not this generation anymore. You have more access to more information than anyone has ever been able to get hold of information than any other generation. Look, church, pastors, leaders. And I have so many pastors' friends here in this place tonight. The generation that we are reaching out to, they are not going to church looking for more information. The generation that we are reaching out to, they are not looking for greater knowledge. They get all those from Google. And it doesn't matter what Google tells them. They will just read and divulge in all this information that they get from Google. But they do go to church. Do you go to church? They still go to church. Why? Because they're looking for a real and genuine community. They go to church because they want to know if you practice what you preach. They are not asking you to be the theologian. They are not asking you to be the Bible encyclopedia that knows everything in the Bible. And I want to tell all of us leaders to be, pastors and pastors to be. When you preach, when you lead a small group, when you lead a discussion, you don't have to have all the answers. Are you with me? It is when we try to put up a front and say, hey, I know everything. At the moment you can't come up with answers, you feel pressured because why? Suddenly you realize you are stuck. I have a simple premise that I don't have all the answers that you will ask me in the Bible. If you ask me a question today, if I don't have an answer, you know what? Come back next week. I will search out the answers. I will talk to Pastor Andrew, and Pastor Andrew will tell you the answer. Because he is different. He knows everything. Not me. So you must remember, pastors are not designed to know everything. Your church members, the young people, the leaders that you are leading, they're not looking for that. What are they looking for? They're looking for pastors who are real. This week, our world shocked because a pastor on the other side of the planet, Pastor Andrew, killed, but not this Pastor Andrew, but another one, killed himself. But can we just be real people when we come to church? You don't have to put up a strong front. I cried in this place. I got upset in this place. I got broken in this place. Pastors who are not afraid to share their pain, your discouragement, why you are not happy. We don't have to put up a performance or a show. And that when we stand here in front of you, and I want to speak on behalf of all the pastors, that we are still trying to work this thing out called life. And we're not performing. We're not performing a religious duty, but working out this life with a relationship with God and a relationship with one another. And that is why, once again, doing life together is so crucial to all of us today. Like I said before, you have never heard this phrase coined and used so often that we want to do life together. And in this generation, because they have so much information and they value life so much, that is why the journey is so important to them and not just the destination. They want to make sure that if I invest my time in doing something, it is meaningful. Tonight, to kickstart this conference, after the first one that we've heard of killer robots and Jesus Christ, and I don't know what kind of conference that have a sermon title like that, I want to up my game. The title of my message tonight is X. If the sermon title is that good, I hope the message is better. Okay, all right. X. Because this generation is all about collaboration and cooperation. Look around us today. Look at the amount of collaborative partnership that is taking place. You will see a brand A and a brand B collab. Collab is the word. X, it's because it is a cross product between brand A and brand B. Okay? Stay with me. H&M had a collab with David Beckham. Adidas had a collab with Kanye West called Easy. Nike had a collab called Off-White that some of us are pulling each other's hair trying to buy a pair of Off-White. Air Jordan 1 UNC, blue color, Chicago in red. Don't look so far. Our church, we have two guys, Kevin and Adrian, has a collab called Analog Pastes. Come on, let's give all these people a big hand. You see, even this idea of collaboration is so alien to so many generations because I am not going to give up my formula of that pace that I worked tirelessly, sleepless nights to come up with this pace and to allow Kevin, by the way, the Kevin is not me, and collab and do a partnership and doing this together. Well, it can be cross-product, cross-names, cross-brands, cross-efforts, cross-initiative, or whatever. The internet is giving us more access to more information than ever before, right? Making all this collaboration possible because barriers are broken down and boundaries are blurred. Collaboration is not something new. It's just that in the past, nobody knows about them. But internet is providing us with this platform that you know who is working with who is trying to work with who, and what is the next partnership that is coming up, or next collaboration. The world is shifting into that direction, but unfortunately, we as Christians and churches are sheepishly and quietly building walls and fences to fend off each other in the name of building the kingdom of God. And I am a guilty party. I'm guilty. I am working so hard trying to protect my church. Don't go to that thing, don't do this, don't do that. And we struggle. But I want you to know, you and I, we cannot fight the future. We got to fight for the future of our generation because collaboration and working together is going to be a very commonplace in days to come. Between brands, between companies, between products, between architect and furniture designer, and all kinds of collaboration. But it was not always easy and rosy. Back in year 2000, now we are shifting from tech conference to fashion conference. Louis Vuitton, LV, actually sued Supreme for knocking off its logo on this t-shirt that they took some of the monogram and made them this. The two brands were fighting. LV was suing Supreme in year 2000. 18 years later, the two brands once feuding became friends, blending the logos, colors, signatures, craftsmanship each brand is famous for. And today, we are pulling each other's hair trying to raise money to buy the next Supreme fanny pack. From feuding to friends. There is so much to learn, and we do not want to play catch up and continue to remain irrelevant or obsolete in our generation. We need to learn this value and learn it fast. A time should come, and it should happen now, where there is a collaboration between Collective and Hope City KL. A collab between Collective and HTBB. A collab between Collective and SIB KL. A collab between Collective and the UMC. A collab between Collective and Kingdom City. Can I have the band to come? A collaboration between Collective and IFGF. A collaboration between Collective and ECC, or a collaboration between between Collective and Acts Church. No. You know what? Probably it's better if it's a collab between Hope City KL and Collective, because Hope City takes the front name. HTBB collaborating with Collective, SIB KL Collective, QMC Collective, Kingdom City Collective, IFGF Collective, ECC Collective, Acts Collective. Will we walk out of this place and actually consider putting our resources to plant churches together? Will we actually consider and actually say, well, you know what? HTBB has a way better program than us in this. And a guy that's come to church and cannot fit into our place. And we tell him or her that, hey, why don't you check out HTBB? And we are happy for you to go there because it's our family too. And they're in KL, they're nearer to you. You can say, I'm a dreamer. I'm fine. How about Epic? Collaborating with Collective. How about Orphan Care? Collaborating with Collective. How about Pizza? Tomorrow night, they're providing us with dinner. Or we paid for them, but it's okay. With Collective. How about Generasi Gemilang collaborating with Collective? We had our missions weekend a few weeks ago. We invited some of these NGOs. And they look at me in, my team in total amusement. Some of them, they started this in their own churches, but their own church never invited them. And they say they've been around for 7 years. It's the first time they're being invited by another church. They asked me, are you not threatened? I say, why do I need to reinvent a new cycle when somebody is already doing the job better than us? Why don't we just put in the resources together? If you need money, I'll raise the money. If you need people, I'll raise the people for you. Come on, let's give God a big hand, shall we? That the cause is always people. Whether it is AI, chatbot, in Facebook, in platforms. The cause is always people. The 1 billion people that they're trying to raise. Not our name, not our brand, not our movement, not our association. No, pastors and leaders, we are human too. And I want you to know, if you think that this idea is radical, let me take you to the Bible. John chapter 17. In the Message Bible, it says this. Jesus said, I am praying not only for them, but also for those who believed in me because of them and their witness about me. The goal, Jesus says in his prayer, is for all of them to become one heart and mind. Just as you, Father, are in me and I in you, so that they might be one heart and mind with us. Then the world might believe that you, in fact, sent me. The same glory you gave me, I gave them. So they'll be as unified and together as we are, I in them and you in me. Then they'll be mature in this oneness and give the godless world evidence that you have sent me and loved them in the same way you have loved me. My dear friends, I want to say we organized this conference not because we wanted something for our church. We wanted something for people. For the 7.6 billion people on planet Earth, we are but a drop of water in the ocean in so many, and there are about 1,000 of us. I'm not going to change 7.6 billion people overnight, but all of us tonight in this place, we can be changed. This 1,000 people sign up for the conference. The word that the world used today is collaboration. The word the Bible uses is one heart and one mind. In the world, businesses are already doing it. Why are we not doing it with another church down the road? Because our ability to collaborate with one another will give the godless world evidence that God sent Jesus and that God loved us as He has loved Jesus. Well, I will end by saying this. A collaboration may be cross-product, cross-brands, cross-efforts, cross-initiatives. But tonight, let a seed be sown that we drop the product, that we drop the branding, we drop the effort, we drop the initiative, so that what remains is just the cross. And let people be the real cause. That the church of the future collaborates. That the church of the future will stand together and say, we're all the same. We're not partners. We're cousins. I have 40 different churches gathered in this place tonight. I want to pray. It may not be achievable in my time, but it doesn't matter. Like I said, Pastor, you're a dreamer, you're an optimist, you're idealist, so be it. But let's start with us. Because in a while, I want to pray for everybody. And this is what happened in every church conference. So this is collective conference, and it's going to be a prayer time. So because they run it, they organize it, their pastors will come, their leaders will come. It's because this is their job, their work. But I want us to pray. Anyone who is a pastor here, you're a youth leader, I don't care what church you're from, Catholic, Pentecostal, Evangelical, Indonesian, Malaysian, Singaporean, Australian, whatever. To really come together as one, is it okay? When we choose the word collective, it means a people with a common goal. A common group of people with a common goal, a common dream, a common vision. Collective is not even a proper noun. It should be collective with a small c. This is collective. It doesn't matter whether it is your brand or your name. What matters is a cross. What matters is a people. What matters is a people. Give Jesus a big hand. I don't know how we want to do this, but I know all of us can pray for somebody. If you're a pastor, a leader, I want people to just come. Is it okay tonight we just come? Is it okay if it is another church pastor praying for you? Is it okay if it's another church leader praying for you? Is it okay to just say, hey, they know it better, they can do it for us? We pull our resources together because the gospel needs to be preached to the ends of the earth. Come on, let's lift up our hands.